Welcome to week 5 of distance learning. This week we're going to be learning about triangles and we're going to be learning about Triangle Sum Theorem. So I'm going to go ahead and get started right now. A triangle is a polygon with 3 sides and 3 angles. You know this. On the triangle to the left, the sides are xy, yz, and xz. The angles are angle x, angle y, and angle z. The triangle sum theorem, or the angle sum theorem, some people call it, states something about the measure of the angles. You guys might know how many degrees are in a triangle. If you do, I want you to just take a moment, think, how many degrees are in a triangle? If you know the answer, just say it quietly to yourself. I know I can't hear you, but say it. So the triangle sum theorem states that the sum of the measures of the 3 angles is always 180 degrees. And therefore, the measure of angle x plus the measure of angle y plus the measure of angle z equals 180 degrees. Now I'm going to switch over to my document camera for a second so I can show you, prove to you that this is always true. So I have drawn 3 intersecting lines on this piece of paper. All I did was draw 3 random lines. And now I'm going to label the internal angles x, y, and z. All right. Now, I am going to make a line up here that intersects angle y and is parallel to this line right here. That looks pretty parallel to me. So now you see that I have 2 parallel lines, and the other side length are the transversals. XY is a transversal and YZ is a transversal. So I am going to highlight them so they kind of stand out in their own color. I think color makes us remember things and notice things better. So our yellow lines are parallel and our blue and green lines are our transversals. Now, last week we learned about angle relationships in parallel lines cut by a transversal. We know that by definition, this angle here, angle x, is a corresponding angle with this angle up here. And therefore, by definition of corresponding angles, they are congruent, which means this angle will have the same measure as angle x. Now, by knowledge of vertical angles, we could say this angle down here is also congruent to angle x. We could also apply our knowledge of alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles, this angle here and the angle on the opposite side of the transversal, are also congruent. So this is for sure the same measure as angle x. All right, now let's look at our green transversal. So similarly, by alternate interior angles, this angle here and this angle right here have to have the same measure because they're congruent. They're alternate interior angles. So this is also angle z. All right, now we're in the final part of the proof. This is the cool part. So our definition of adjacent angles tells us that this angle on the left side of the green transversal plus this angle on the right side of the green transversal is supplementary. And therefore, this is the measure of angle x plus the measure of angle y. This angle is the measure of angle z. So because these 2 angles right here
and right here are supplementary. That means they add up to 180 degrees. Measure of angle x plus measure of angle y plus the measure of angle z equals 180 degrees. So that's your proof that these three angles always equal 180 degrees. Well, where are these three angles? On the inside of the triangle. For every triangle, the interior angles will always add up to 180 degrees. This is the Triangle Sum Theorem.
Now that we know that this is always true for every triangle, we're going to apply the Triangle Sum Theorem to find missing angles in our triangles. The Triangle Sum Theorem tells us that the measure of angle A plus 103 degrees plus 32 degrees equals 180 degrees. We'll start by combining like terms. 103 plus 32 is 135 degrees. We're still adding the other angle, the angle A. All right, now we're going to solve for A by subtracting our constant, subtracting 135 degrees from both sides. See why it's important that we learned about solving equations before even getting to geometry? I always tell you guys there's a path to math for a reason. All right, 180 minus 135. 180 minus 130 is 50, minus 5 is 45 degrees. Now, as mathematicians, we need to always practice being precise, and we should always really be checking our work. So let's double check that 45 plus 103 plus 32 is 180. 5 plus 3 is 8 plus 2 is 10, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 3 is 8, 180. Awesome. Again, let's apply the Triangle Sum Theorem. The measure of angle y plus 47 degrees plus 40 degrees equals 180 degrees. Combine like terms, 47 plus 40 is 87 degrees. Y plus 87 degrees equals 180 degrees. Subtract 87 degrees from both sides. 87 minus 87 is 0. Y equals 180 minus 87. 180 minus 80 is 100, minus 7 is 93 degrees. And if you want to check it, go for it. 47 plus 93, 7 plus 3 is 10. So 47 plus 3 is 50, plus 90 is 140, plus 40 is 180. That's how I check in my head. All right. Again, apply Triangle Sum Theorem. C plus 33 degrees plus 50 degrees equals 180 degrees. C plus 83 degrees equals 180 degrees. Subtract 83 degrees from both sides. C equals 97 degrees. Is that the same as the last one? No, close. All right, so those are some examples of how you can apply the Triangle Sum Theorem to find missing angles. I think this will be pretty simple for you to do, but if you need help, please just reach out to me on Microsoft Teams. You know I'm always here to support you. Let's review real quick. The sum of all three angles in any triangle will always be 180 degrees. This is what the Triangle Sum Theorem tells us. So your assignment, now that you have watched this video, is to go complete the quizzes that I assigned to you so that you can practice finding missing measures in triangles. I really recommend that you go do that right now. You just watched this video, it should be fresh with you, and you need to practice what you have just learned. After you do my quizzes, I really, really encourage you to complete the first page of Mr. Battle's triangle packet. Again, You know, in everything in life, practice is what helps us be good at it. So to be a good mathematician, to remember this information, you need to go practice it. And why not go do it and knock out your 2 assignments for me and for Mr. Battle's class? So go work on that, and remember to always make the rest of your day the best of your day. I love ya.